how we got here. I think Jesse and I said that's kind of important because we have some people that have been with us on this journey and some that are maybe just coming in for the first time. And so how did we get here? So this started about 5 or 6 months ago, maybe. And Jesse had a plan, which was really not a plan, but it was let's try this and see what happens. And so he had some letters from a relationship that kind of framed up 5S, applying it outside of work. And we, it was someone that took the time to apply how to really work with personal relationships, foster them, try to make them better, try to work together in using the 5S tool, which is a lean tool. And so we kind of broke those down over the course of 5 sessions. We realized as we started going, again, we have this tribe around us that is amazing. And as we started going, the conversations grew. And the space we were creating, because when we started, we're like, we don't want to lose people. We don't want to get too soft and, squishy, and we don't want to lose people. So we have to make sure we're tying it back to work, tying it back to things that people can relate to. And so we were trying to do that. We were balancing it. But all the conversations and all the comments and all the things that people were saying were gravitating to not work stuff. They were gravitating to things once you leave work or before you get to work. And so we started leaning into that space, and we realized as soon as we made that decision to lean into that space, the conversations grew even more, and the vulnerability grew, and the trust grew, and the stories and the comments and the things we were getting were things we'd never seen before and things that people never said before. And we realized a couple things in that during that transformation of what we were trying to do is in our industry, there's not a space for that. There's not a place for that. There's not conversations around what happens before you get to work, what happens when you go home after work. And so I think we, after those conversations, were super intentional on making sure that we focused on that space. And it doesn't mean it's not work related. It doesn't mean that work doesn't play into it and that we don't talk about work. It just means when we leave work, when we are all day, every one of us usually, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, multiple days a week, we leave work. What are we taking with us when we leave work that impacts those things outside of work? And then on the other side, what's happening at home with the people that, we're our families and, things like that are impacting when we show up to work. And that space and that conversation and the things that are happening there, no one's talking about them. And I think that's where we found that if we can just create a space to talk about those things, people would just show up. And if you're looking at numbers right now, it's like, I don't even know how this happened, but that's how we got here today.